Topper, CEO and founder of UberEther. Matt, it's great to see you again. Thanks for joining me. Two different facets of artificial intelligence that people are talking about here. One is using AI to secure their enterprises, and the other is defending, securing the AI tools themselves and the data that is important to them. What are you seeing in either or both of those areas?
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of, sadly, the same patterns we saw 10 years ago, right? There's always the hype cycle of something new that's going to come and change the industry. And so there's a rush right now to get all of your data, all of your things into the AI tools. But at the same time, the security standards aren't there, or they're moving so fast that they're not putting the security boundaries around them. So a lot of agencies are actually either putting full blocks on because they don't know how to stop it right now, or they're just letting it go and not realizing kind of what is being put out there. And obviously for some of the agencies, that's extremely risky because they might have the best tech in the world that goes into the AI, and then that AI vendor uses it to train their next model, and now the whole world has that thing. Or you're taking that data internally and then it gets shared out because now it's left SharePoint or whatever their document repository is with no controls on it, and now everyone can find it. So things like special access programs or like niche pieces of like DHS, weapons of mass destruction, right? All of those things that we've done research on are now in this LLM, and now any Joe that's got access to it internally has it. So we're seeing a lot of the agencies that put the pause going, okay, what are the patterns now? And that's a lot of the things we've been doing lately is saying, okay, you've got human identities that have access to these data repositories, but now you've got a essentially man in the middle machine that has to sit there and follow the same rules as the human. And even though it's got access to petabytes of data, that human that is using it only has this many terabytes, and you've got to keep that filter down. So that's a lot of the implementation we're seeing from that side.
You use the term security standards, and I wonder, are the security standards the same for AI applications as other types of applications, and should they be?
So I always laugh because when there's a protocol called MCP, Model Context Protocol, that Anthropic put out and kind of the whole industry has glommed on, and it's the new AI APIs essentially at the end of the day. And those MPC servers, that first version of the spec, they had the security section, and under the security section was just a note that said to do. Literally, they put it out for the world, and we just haven't figured it out yet. And as you imagine, those were extremely insecure things. And even GitHub, we saw, like, if you use the MCP server and knew how to use it well, you could actually look at anyone's repository, whether you were part of that organization or not. So the first step was getting something called OAuth in there, and then the MCP server basically was acting as a resource and a server. Has not worked very well. There's some holes in it. We saw Shift's drive last week get hacked. That they took the OAuth tokens that were being stored in those servers, pivoted back into Salesforce, pivoted back into Snowflake. A couple other companies came with that. It was about 42 in total. So while that was a good first step, what we're really seeing is the rise of non-human identity and putting short-lived certificates with those connections. So, hey, I might give grant my access to that AI for 6 hours, but then after 6 hours, the certificate's dead and it can't be reused. So if someone was to attack that, they'd have to come back and get the next cert and the next cert and the next cert. And it's way easier to spot someone that has to be there persistently rather than someone that can go in, take the keys and run and use them from somewhere else.
Yeah. What do you see as kind of the trajectory of where security is going in an AI context, Matt?
So it's getting extremely powerful, which is where I'm very, very excited, because we've joked for years that SOC analysts are looking for needles in needle stacks. We're not even in haystacks anymore, right? And you've got to find the one glowing hot red needle in the stack to know your attacker. Well, most SOCs get tens of thousands of alerts a day, and they look at less than 10% of them. There's just not enough people. And you can take the AI models and go, okay, what are the patterns? What are the consistencies? And really filter that down to something that's manageable. And then from there go, okay, I've seen this error or I've seen this pivot. How do I then fix it? And you can use the AI and the different tools, techniques, and practices building in things like the MITRE attack frameworks and pieces that will automatically give the analyst the best approach to stop the attacker in their tracks. So
Is AI potentially, about a minute left, is AI potentially a tool that will help finally, decades in, cybersecurity practitioners get ahead of the bad guys, or because the bad guys have access to the similar tools, do we continue with the dog chasing the tail?
I don't think we'll ever get away from the dog chasing the tail. It will forever be a cat and mouse game, right? The attackers are incentivized to use the greatest tools to get your money out, get whatever they're trying to extract out, and businesses are enticed to stop them. So we are seeing the LLMs and the models being way better on both the attacker and the defense side right now. One of the first things I saw when AI came out is they were training them on all of GitHub and all of the repositories. And now it's like, well, maybe that's not good because 80% of GitHub is college students trying to code for the first time. Right. It's really badly done. So now I'm seeing LLMs very tightly tuned to SIM, offense, defense, different attack styles at layer 3, layer 4, and they can be highly targeted and smaller at that point to run directly on the analyst machines rather than having these big honkers that, right, nobody can afford and heat up the world for us right now.
Matt, it's great to have you here. Thanks for joining me.
Appreciate it. Thank you.